Alright, I might as well start now. What am I doing today? Okay, I do have something to add to the list, the ever-growing list. Adjustment. Map generation needs to be adjusted. Needs to adjust. I don't know if I'll start with that. I've been wanting to do this visibility thing, but I've definitely wanted to do the map generation adjustment too. Green snow. That in the back. You can't even see the snow through the transparent window. I might as well just kill it. Let's see. Visibility I've been wanting to do. I mean, I wanted to do. Think about the map generation adjustment. I want to do it because it's so good. It's so cool. But it'll make my maps that much better. But it's going to take a lot of work because I'm going to have to change the way a lot of stuff works. It's going to be a pain in the ass. I can't check the paths. So the way that I generate the map now is I generate the rooms, then I like where the rooms are going to be, and then I lay down paths between the rooms. And then I check that all the paths are connected. So all the rooms are connected. And if they're not, I make a new map. But if they are, then I continue on and then I place the rooms down. The new algorithm, I'll have to change how I do that. So that'll be I'll have to change the order of stuff, and I'll have to change the way it works, because the way I do it now is by path. Anyway, it won't be a problem, but I was playing around with the algorithm, and I basically made a little program in R, like a little script to do it for me. And so I could tweak little settings in here, like I could change the probability values and stuff. Like this is 65. That's the chance that a room is connected to another room. It's like a 35% chance. I can increase that to say 85, and then you're going to get a lot more paths. And when I run this, I could just quickly run it, and that's the advantage of doing it in R, is I can make little adjustments and then run a bunch of map generations, you know, and see how they look. So, wow, that actually looks really cool. I really like that, like, massive path overload kind of thing. Because had it at 35%, I just upped it to 85%, and I get a lot more connections. You get a lot more connections between rooms. But you also get a lot more of this crap. I don't like paths doubling up. I'm going to have to try to find a way to prevent that. But I think I kind of settled on a pretty good algorithm. The only problem with it is something like 9 out of the 10 maps that are generated look like this. Like they don't connect. So you have rooms that don't connect. This you have a whole... I can't see it that size. Yeah, this one you have... This one barely got connected. It was actually... It stopped generating right there, but you can walk diagonally. That's the only reason that's connected. But otherwise, you have this room orphaned, and then you have this whole wing of the dungeon orphaned. So you get that a lot, like 9 out of 10. But every once in a while, you get one where everything is connected. Like that one. Everything's connected. So it works. This works different. This RStudio works different than the one I use at work. And that's not a very good one, but they are all connected. So it doesn't matter if they're all good. They don't all have to be winners. That one's not. So I don't know. I do like the way the dungeons look though. They look so much nicer. They look so much more natural because you get like little dead ends and stuff. So even on a map that's not fully connected, you can see how nice it looks. Like this path looks really great, and then it just stops. And thus you have 2 paths going from room to room. This must be 2 rooms here because there's two paths for some reason. But that map would be rejected. That would not fly. Again, a really cool looking map, but one that would not work. I could do, so what I could do is I could identify a map that doesn't work and then try to add stuff to make it work. But the way that I'm doing it now is if the map doesn't work, I just make a new one. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Keep this open because I want to, I don't know, I need to make sure. We're going to go into map. I need to make sure the changes that I do are indeed retained. Oh yeah, so it's 2 changes. I know what they are now. Okay. It's actually simplifying things a lot as well. So the first thing is, let's go into adding paths. Now, let's go into add rooms first. And what I did is, I had this thing called floor_room. I'm actually going to take that out because we don't need it. I have the map coordinates. These are the starting points. These are where the rooms are. So that's all I need. And then and I don't need to put down the starting point of the map. I saved the starting point in memory. I don't even know why I have that, honestly. Okay, so that's the first thing it does is it generates rooms, and it checks the distance between the rooms and make sure that they're actually good. And did I change the distance in my generator? I definitely did a check distance thing, so greater than 60. So let's go to check dist p. Min dist. I have it as 30. All right, so we're going to increase that to 60. I think I actually meant that to be higher. But this will push rooms apart, so it'll separate them a little more. So that's like 60, the min distance. If I change that to 30, just see what we get. That's what I had it set to. I had it set to 30. So is it my imagination, or are they all bunched up? Like these 2 rooms are overlapping. These 2. This is 1 room. This is 2 rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so I think, well, that's just 1 run. Let's run a couple more. Yeah, bunched up. That one looks pretty good. You have a better chance of these things being connected if you have a shorter distance. Wow, look at that. That is amazingly cool. You get one of these and you have them all connected and it's going to be perfect. That's what I love about random numbers. And also, if it doesn't work, you just throw it out and start over. So, I mean, that's another thing that I love about this. All right, we'll put that back. Okay, so minimum distance 60. So we do that. What are we doing here? Checks it, make sure, and if they are less than the minimum distance, then what you do is you kill the rooms, and then you free it, and then you set up a new room. You do it again. You recursively. This P calls add rooms. It got called by add rooms, and then it just tries again. It just tries to make rooms until they're far enough apart. It's the same thing that I'm saying, like, I'm going to have to throw out 90% of the maps that are generated, but if I build it right, it's okay. So this check disp, that's what happens. So we add rooms first. Okay, then I think make paths gets called. Add rooms, then make paths. Yeah, and I think that's okay. So this is what gets changed. The make paths gets changed. Okay, so for what we're doing is we're going through each room and we're comparing it. So we're going to go 1 until 8. Out of all the rooms, there's 9 rooms. It'll go from 1 to 8. And then this will go from I plus 1. So if this is 1, this will be room 2. So this will compare room 1 to room 2 through 9, then room 3 to rooms 4 through 9, and it's going to just loop. And if j is equal to I, continue. They should never equal each other. Ever. Why is that in there? I plus 1. J can never equal I. And then R equals a random number, and this is the magic. And what did I settle on? 65. Greater than 65. A number from basically 1 to 99. Oh, why do I do 1 to 99? That's interesting. That should have been 100 here. It's not going to make any difference. No noticeable difference. 1, okay, 0 to 99. So this would be 1 to 99. What I can do is greater than or equal to 65. There we go. Then make a path. So it's going to go to make a path. Okay, make path. So in here, you make paths, and so what you're doing is you're setting up y values and x values. This is where you currently are. And then you generate a random number, 0 through 5, and if it's 0, you're going to try to move up if you can. Okay, and essentially this loops, it's adding a path, so it's, let's say room here, and then there's room here. It's like trying to connect it until it reaches that room. But what I did in this map generator, the other one, is it tries to move to it until it gets on the same plane. So if you have like a map here and a map here, and then this path comes down here, it'll stop, even though it's like not going all the way to the room. So that's what I need to do. So if x is equal to that, okay, so I'll just change this to an or. So this is saying if x, the current x of the path is equal to the room you're going to, then break it. X and y. This is now saying if x or y is equal to the room you're going to. So it will stop short in most cases, almost like 100%. 99% of cases it's going to stop short of the room. Actually, all cases, I think, you can't have x and y equal. So it might be next door to it. It might be one space over, but it will never actually go all the way to the room. And I think that's good. The floor path. So we're then adding in a floor path. So every step of the way, we're adding in a floor path. This breaks before adding the path. Does the other one break before adding the path? Let's see. PRs. This was path to rooms. So while... Yes, this actually adds the path before it breaks. So I need to just change these, the order of these. And that should be on a new line by itself. So that's great. So that's good. So this is now add path or make path, and make paths are now done. So now I just need to do make paths, make rooms. Make rooms. Okay, so make rooms are going to be, it's going to be the hard, not hard, it's going to be different. The way that I did it is much different. So make rooms. Let's go to make rooms. Check it out. So make rooms, I give it a minimum width, a minimum height, a maximum width, and a maximum height. Okay, these are all going to change as well, so I do need to change those up here first. So make rooms, men width, men height. Hang on, I gotta write this down. All right, now let's see what I did over in R. Make rooms. Where did I do that? I think that was open rooms ORs is what I did here. So the width is going to equal, this is 5 plus 7. No, 1 plus 7. So 8 to 12 width. 8 to 12. And then this would be 1 plus 3, 4 to 5. 4 to 5. Wow. Very different. So smaller rooms. The difference being, one of the main differences, the way that I am previously adding the rooms was I would generate a room with a wall around it. And then I can take out a lot of code because I would generate a room and it would be a floor space or a map space. It would be basically in a big empty square with a wall around it. And the thing is, I'm placing this in a map that is all walls, so I actually don't need to add walls. The walls are already there. So before, if this was 9 to 5 or 9 to whatever, it would have two of those numbers would be walls. So I've changed that a bit. So this would have been 6 to 7, and what was it? It was 6 to 9. That's okay. I made them smaller. Okay, make rooms. I'm going to take out this is room thing because we're not doing rooms that way anymore. So I can get rid of that entirely. Is room. That's going to change a few things. Going to change how everything works. Take forever. Map H. Is room. I don't even really need this floor number thing, honestly. That's not important. Is there any reason at all to have that in the map other than, I guess, display purposes? Like, say you are on floor number 1. It's just a waste of 4 bytes, but you know, these programs are going to take up like 50 megabytes of memory, so it's not that bad. You could run this on DOS if you wanted to. Maybe not DOS, but Windows 95 for sure. Okay, so there we go. We got rid of that. I probably do want to remove that, honestly, but I'll leave it in for now. So let's go to make rooms. Or whatever that one's called. Make rooms, because we're changing the way that works. Make rooms and carve rooms. So what it's doing is it's coming in and it's saying go through each room you have to make. So you have to make like 5 rooms or whatever, 9 rooms. Generate a width, generate a height. And then room equals a knit map space. Okay, so we're not doing that anymore. So what we are doing is carve room, and we need this. No, we don't even need carve room anymore. You're gone. Don't need it. And I don't care if I have to get rid of it this way without even caring. It's in GitHub, so it'll always be there. This would be make rooms. Okay, so we're just making a room. We're placing a room. Place room. And we just need the location. And then we need the width and the height. So this is changing a little bit. This is going to be location, and then width, and then height. That looks like a rectangle, doesn't it? Call a rectangle. You give it X, Y coordinates, you give it W and H values. That's Pretty much a rectangle. Actually, if I use SDL for this, even if I do it in terminal mode, SDL has a bunch of built-in tools for handling shapes like rectangles and things. It's just a struct that just literally has X, Y, W, and H. That's what SDL rect is. It just places it, and then it kills the map space, so I can take that out. We're not killing anything. We're not creating anything. We don't need this anymore either. So it's just that simple. Up here, make rooms is done. Now placing rooms is going to be a little harder. So place the room so the coordinate is center. So I think all the logic here is going to check out. It's going to be the same. But actually, let me change the prototype up here. Place rooms. So, what are these values? What are any of these things? F, I, J. What is F? F. What is it? So essentially, I don't need any of this. We just want to make sure that the map, so I'll keep this logic. I don't know what any of this garbage is. Goodbye. Actually, wait, what's that other thing? Yeah, we don't need any of that. Fuck it. So I'm not adding anything. So essentially, all I have to do then is I do just need I and J. And I don't need this. So we just want to do, say, for I is equal to 0, I is less than width, or wait, height, I plus equals 1. And yes, I got to do J first because rows always come before columns. Wait, rows come before columns, okay. Here I go, when I start using X and Y and I and J, I's are rows, J's are columns. So this is just what I do. That's how I always remember when I see an I and a J together. The I is the column. But it should be like Y and X, but I'm using Y and X otherwise. I need to learn to do this better. So what we're gonna do is, X is where you're starting the room. So what you're gonna do is map floor space plus XY2 flat, then X plus J, Y plus I, and then map width. And then this is equals, oh my god, I'm in R, I just did the R assignment symbol. And this should be floor open, I think. That's so much simpler because we're just carving it out. We don't care what's already there. Like if there's floor there, you're just making it floor again. If there's wall, you're making it floor. If there's path, you're making it floor. You're just setting down a square, a rectangle floor. So X plus J, J is width, Y plus I is height. That makes sense, map width. How that function works. Good to go. All right, so there we go. There's place rooms. So now in theory, the maps are better, but I need to now change the check paths thing. Check paths map is equal to 1. So now what we have is we have one of these. And so what it needs to do is it needs to start and say this is room 1. Actually, which one is room 1? Room 1 is 57, 7. I think it's this one. So it'll start here and it'll start a paint bucket fill. And it'll just spread out. And before I did that, oh, I did that after adding the rooms before? Okay, so maybe I don't need to change much. Because it is check paths, yeah. So let's go to check path. Let's just see how it works. It might be good to go. Okay, connected. Connected. We're making a fake map. We're filling it with 0, so it's the size of the map. It's like a 100 by 25 space full of zeros. Yo, Sax. You missed all the cool coding. Doctor. Yes. Don't call me that. I had a technician working with me who would just always call me doctor and then my last name. And I asked him, like, you don't have to, you can call me by my first name. And every time he refused. He would just always call me by my title. And when he left, finally he was like, now I can call you by your first name. I was like, no, I said on day one. And first of all, you still are technically not a doctor. So if you have that drive to call a doctor, you can only stop that when you are a doctor, and he wasn't a doctor yet. So anyway, I don't insist on anybody calling me doctor. I think it's really ridiculous, but whatever. Yeah, so I was going through, I've made the changes now to make map generation, like this thing generates the maps. So I think it should all be good. The thing is, with this map generator, it does a lot of these with orphaned rooms. So this one has like only one orphaned room. That one's actually pretty good. But we need 0 orphaned rooms. So what I need it to do is to throw out the whole map if it gets any orphaned rooms. And so I need check paths to work. And I think it's like 9 out of 10 maps are going to be orphaned. You're going to have orphans. Why are these maps so much more clumped together? Did I not change that number back? So, yeah, I just need to make sure to check paths works how I want. So this is going to be me just walking through my old code and being like, what? Yeah, that's R. So I use an IDE for R called RStudio, which is really great because it gives you, first of all, you get your R session down here, so you can do anything you want down there. And then up here, it gives you your variable viewer, so you can actually see the values of your variables and what functions you have loaded. And you can like pull them down and you can see these, or you can click on them and it'll open the viewer. And then up here, it has your actual script that you're writing. So if you use R, RStudio is way better than just using R by itself. And I'm also in R mode because R uses this. Oh my God. I thought that would zoom in. It did not zoom in. It uses this symbol, which is like less than minus. It's like an arrow pointing. That's the assigning symbol. That's how you assign. So cur x set equal to 100. That's what I'm doing there. 100 minus w minus 1. And I was just typing that in C and being, wait a minute. C doesn't use that symbol. Okay, so now we're setting everything equal to 0 and then setting room 1 location equal to 1. Okay, I already see a problem with this because these rooms can be on the outskirts. So I think I need to fix that up in add rooms. Yeah, actually, so you can use equals. So you could say a equals 1 in R and it works. And I don't like that. I tend to use the assigning symbol because it has a different meaning to me. Equals for me in R is function calls. If you're going to put arguments, so in R, let's say you're calling a function. So let's say you have, this is just a vector of 5 values, and then you want to find the mean of those values. You call the function and then you set the arguments equal. So this is saying the argument that is expecting is called x, and I'm giving it a. So that's why I use that distinction, because I don't know why. It's just the convention. That's how the R convention is. But I think that arrow symbol means different things in different languages. Like I think that means something in Swift and Rust. You'd think I'd remember, but I don't, because those languages are shitty. They are shitty dwellers. Okay, so for room, yeah, okay. 2 to 25. What's the size of my map? 125. So 125. I want it to be 2, so that's going 0 and 1 are before that. And then this goes to 24, so then 23, 24, that's right. And then x is giving it, say, 0. Yeah, actually, what I need to do is I need to make these more inner. No, I shouldn't need to. I should not need to. Fuck it. We'll just move forward and just, I think it's okay. What I'm a little worried about, I see this happening in my R thing, so you see it here. When I generated this map, this was the location of this room. It said put a room there, but it can't put it there because it would go off the map if you did, so I move it to the right. But it actually, the central point of that room is not in the room. It's off the room. So I don't want that happening because it won't be connected. Rust is the new C. No. Rust is rust. It is what it is. Alright, so let's just go back to check path. This should be okay. So first we set room 1 equal to 1 in this fake map. This is like a topography of the level. Okay, then changes equals 0, and then what we're going to do is changes if connected is equal to 1, yes, then go and do fill point. Okay, so we're doing paint bucket fill. And then we're good. And then we check how many rooms are connected. Okay, so I got it. So now what is this one? This is fill point. I need fill point. Fill point, you're a helper function. You should be right below the function that calls you. You dingus, get up here. All right, fill point. And I need to make that change up here too. Helper function should be after the function that calls it. That's my coding requirement. I require that. Okay, so what we do is first we check all directions. Yes. If it's not equal to floor wall, okay, so this should need no changes. I think this should actually work, but I want to do something first. Instead of generating 100 maps, I'm going to just generate 2, because these maps are going to take longer to generate, because it's going to make like 50 of them, and it's going to throw them out. Wow, I've been streaming for 36 minutes, and I haven't compiled yet. I've done a lot of changes. So let's just see what errors we get. Yeah, we get a few. There we go, map on line 47. 47, we gotta get rid of that. Init map space. Use of undeclared identifier, okay. 261, line 261. That's pretty far in there. Place room, okay. So that should just be width now and height. Be back shortly. Okay, see you soon. And then 265, 261. Yes. Any of this room stuff, we don't need it. Alright, let's just see if that cleared it. It did, it compiled. Alright, segfault time. Oh wait, before I do that, instead of hang on, what is that called? It's called explored. Alright, we just want to see the whole map when I run it. Segmentation fault! Yes! Yes! Fantastic. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So we need to do make debug. I just need to know where the seg fault's happening. Okay. Bad access code. Wait, whoops. So why would dist p be giving me a problem? Saying it can't access A? I don't think I can call functions in the debugger. Well, it killed it, whatever it's trying to do. Weird. Let's see if that's always the case. If it always crashes there. How A2. I mean, that shouldn't crash. What's the problem? It says exec bad access code 2. Like it can't access A? Why can't it access A? It's up here. Line 70. It's declared here. You shouldn't have a problem accessing. Okay, so I clearly have a memory problem somewhere else. It's causing this. So what I need to do, unfortunately, I have to do the old standby here. But before I do that, let me see if anything else calls init map space. Nothing in here calls it. Okay. So it is the only call to init map space is itself. It calls itself. Maybe what I can do is one of these. Okay, it's still doing it. It's still doing it. Still doing it. Okay, so it's not that. So I do need to put in some statements here. That's really weird. Oh, you know what, though, I can do? Look at the backtrace before I start putting in print statements to debug here. See what the backtrace is. I'm waiting. We're all waiting. It's time to wait. Hurry up and wait. So it's getting good values. Oh, this time it's stuck on C. Last time it was stuck on A. C is a double return. It's a double. What's the problem? What's the problem? The problem is this something is getting rewritten somewhere in bad memory. Bad exec bad access. Exec bad access is an exception raised as a result of accessing bad memory. So the problem with exec bad access, as I've seen so many times, is that this is a function that it's throwing the error, but this is not the function where it's actually happening. And it's not happening with any of the variables. Okay, it's getting into, I see, it's getting into a huge, I saw this before, a huge bullshit. So it's going between check rooms and add rooms, check dist, add rooms. Okay, so that's good to know. Maybe changing this minimum distance thing screwed me. Let's just see if that did. Oh yeah. Well, it looks like it generated 2 maps. It just took a long time to do so. Wow, look at that. Okay. That's going to be a problem. If it takes 10 seconds to make 2 maps, then it's going to take like 10 minutes to make all of them. But it did make 2 maps. That's pretty cool. It works. Floor 2, floor 1. Floor 2, floor 1. Okay. That just reminded me of something else I wanted to change. Probably shouldn't. But down and up. Down and up. Hang on. So the arrow keys imply going left and going right. I'll keep it as is. It's okay. I'll keep it as is. I don't know. I was looking at NetHack, and they have for down, they have this symbol. And then for up, they have this symbol. And in NetHack, you're constantly going down, so you want to be using this. And that's the key, but I might want to swap those. I think I'll leave it as is for now. The buttons will be okay. This will all get figured out eventually. Climbing a tower, that's... Maybe I need to look at a roguelike that goes up instead of down and see how they do it. Okay. Yeah, so why does it take so long here? Maybe there's something I can do. So it was getting stuck in here before. It could not make a room with this minimum distance for some reason. 60. That's what I do in the other thing, though. This PR is greater than 60. Break. Yes, can I make this 40? Just make that a little higher. That was much quicker. Maybe that's because it's not the... No, it's debug mode. It's because of the random nature of generating these maps. Alright, well... What I'm gonna do... I just want to test this. I don't know if this is gonna work. We'll see. Let's change this to 10. And I'm gonna time it. I'm gonna type P. I don't know if that input is gonna go into curses or not. We'll see if it does. This is the timing on generating 10 maps. Did work, yeah. It worked, so it was 11 seconds, almost 12 seconds to generate 10 maps. Now maybe I can look at them, make sure that they're working. It takes a lot longer. That is a little concerning. It's almost instantaneous to make a single map with the other generation, but it's because they're so unlikely. So maybe if I change some of these values around, I think it'll be okay. I think part of the problem is it needs to have a room. When you go upstairs, you need to have a room greeting you in that location. I think that's part of the problem. But maybe I can change some of these values. There's that 65. I'll bump that down and see if that makes it any faster. So 2 seconds. So bumping path generation down 2 seconds. Bumping path generation down by 10%, making it more likely. Made better maps. So 2 seconds, more or less, to generate 10 maps. So 100 maps will take 20 seconds. Looks great. Don't know how this will look while exploring it. It looks great with the whole thing unexplored, though. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Even with these rooms all crunched together. So this is a room, 2, 3, 4. This is like maybe 3 rooms. And then this is 1, 2, 3 rooms. It's hard to tell what's a path and what's a room. Like this is a path. Okay, cool. All right, let's turn the visibility. Back. Just run this again. 2 seconds for 10 maps. Uh-oh. What happened? The edge of the map? I have not seen that yet. Okay, that's a problem. Let me change one more thing. Move floors. That should be in player. No, we don't even need that. We just do this. Player. I'm going to remove all this. Okay, so that's good. So we have a room on the edge, bottom and left, and on top edge, top left, bottom, right, bottom. Okay. Oops. There's no floor 11. Yes. So I'm just looking. I think the rooms are closer to the walls from before, so I need to change my visibility logic. I think that was the problem. Because I'm not seeing any other like off the map situations. Yeah, that was fine. All good. All good again. Okay, cool. So let's find where my the logic of something I'm getting rid of. I need to fix that. Change that back. And where is that? It would be like check explored or something. Check explored. Is that in player? No. Where is that function? Oh, maybe it's in main. That would be weird. Yeah, that's where it is. Cool. If it's greater than or equal to map with -1. Okay, there's the problem. Right there. So it just wasn't drawing the wall because it was pretending. I have this map width -1, and I had greater than or equal to. So that was the problem. Okay, so now this should... Why did I get a little thing when I compiled that? Why do I get... What's happening here? Why am I getting a blank line after make? What the hell? Has it always done that? No, it just started doing that. What the hell? Well, what changed? Maybe it's something here, so let's try this again. Let's just open a new one. Okay, it was the console. The console fucked up. So I think it was because... Oh, I know why. I do know why. You know what I need is I need a program that'll clear curses out, because when it seg faults and it's in a curse window, that window is still... It still exists. Until, I guess, until you close the thing. Because what I know, I think even when you don't close the thing, so what I need to do is I need to run a quick thing here. So let's just make a fake program real quick. All right. We'll just do this. Do this, and this needs some curses stuff. So what happens is this never got called. So when your program crashes, it never calls that window, end window thing. So I think and so we don't need that. What is check window? Is that something that I wrote? No, that's something I wrote, yeah. Okay, then we need end win. And I just want to do a print. And I'm forgetting this. So, test main, and we want to do ncurses. Okay. I guess it got shut out. So what I've done before in the past is I've written curses programs, closed the terminal, and I didn't end the window properly. Let's try end with the window twice, see what happens. And it actually brought up the terminal from like days ago, what was entered in the terminal. It still had it in memory. So it's kind of weird. But if that happens again, I'll have this thing set up and ready to go. All right, back to the real world here. The real world of rogue thing. Cool. All right, I'm just gonna explore around here a bit. I'm just gonna play the game for maybe like 3 minutes and just make sure. So I wouldn't have seen that issue if I hadn't just been playing. See how exploring these maps feels, because you come up on dead ends, and it's that stairs up. Dead ends have an effect on the psychology of the player. I don't really care about the psychology of the player at this point. But it is cool that just tweaking one little setting was enough to make the map generation go from 20 seconds or whatever to 2 seconds. I think it was 10 seconds to 2 seconds. It's still a little too long though, because if I change this back to 100, I want 100. Let's just see how long this takes. I can take a little drink of coffee while it's going. Enjoy my life and coffee. I equate enjoying my life to drinking coffee. Those two things. I obviously don't want to be sitting here for 23 seconds. So that took 24 seconds. 24.142 seconds to generate 100 maps, which is actually not too bad. You put a little progress bar on there, and it only happens once, and you're going to have saving and loading. But for me testing the game, I don't want to have to wait 24 seconds every time I run the program. But that's telling me that's 18 seconds, so that's good. If I type in P, that's just the quit signal, just quit. It'll just immediately quit as soon as it loads. All right, 24 seconds, 18 seconds, 23 seconds. It's about, I guess about 21 seconds, 22 seconds average. 19 seconds, so that's about 21 seconds average, I guess. So it's pretty quick. If that's 100 maps generating 20 seconds, that's 0.2 seconds, 0.2 seconds per map. So if I change this to like 5, actually 10 would be 2 seconds. So if I change it to 5, it'll be 1 second. Oh yeah, I actually have to compile. So less than a second for 5 maps. So that's probably a good number of maps to test. Just make 5 maps, 5 floors. And then when the game proper is a little more advanced, it'll just take longer to test. I do like these maps better. They feel more natural. They feel more like dungeons to me. So really, I think I'm glad I played around with it. I actually figured this change by accident. I was playing around making a dungeon generator in R for the purpose of just, having something I could quickly tweak. And I made an accident in the logic, and the dungeon looks so much nicer. So just from an accidental mistake, I made something that was that much better. Oh, dead end, that was so cool. That was so awesome. Just going down, I was not expecting a dead end down there. That is so awesome. It's so cool that like me making a dumb mistake. It was a logic mistake too. It was an and or mistake. Like I always make these and or mistakes. I use an and where I should use an or. It was one of those, and the dungeon was like looked so much nicer. The rooms weren't connecting as much, but it looked so much better that I was like, oh, I got to use that. I got to use that logic mistake in my actual code. That was such a cool little dead end down there. I mean, that was so unexpected. That like made my day. So I keep the map in memory. This is called floor space. So if you picture like this is 100 by 25, I just have 2,500 integers, and they say what the floor is. Then there's another, I think it's a character, it's the same thing. It's 2,500 characters, and they're either 0 or 1. And if they're 0, you don't draw it. When I'm rendering the map, don't draw it, that tile. So every tile has not only a value telling you what kind of tile it is, but then it has another a variable that tells you if it's been seen or not. It's called explored. And when I walk, so it checks around him in a space like this much, and it just automatically adds all those tiles to 1, their visibility value, their explored value. So that's just kept in memory, and when you go up a floor, so every map has both. It has a floor space and an explored. Yeah, and so I have a struct called a map space, and this is how I store the maps. This is the whole floor. So it has the floor number, the width and height, which is always going to be the same in this case, but then integer floor spaces tells you what each tile is. So I will initialize this to be like 2,500 values, and it's a flat, it's a one-dimensional array, but I convert it into a two-dimensional space. So it's 2,500, or it's 25 rows of 100. So the first 100 are the first row, the next 100 are the second row, and so on and so forth. And then this explored thing, that's 0 or 1. And then, which I could probably optimize that better. I optimize it by making a character instead of an integer. So 1 byte instead of 4. The number of rooms. So this is all just administrative stuff. This tells you where the beginning is, so where the downstairs are, and then the end where the upstairs are. So how to go to the last floor, how to go to the first floor. This is like an X and Y coordinate. Oh, and this room X and room Y, I should change that to be the same way, because begin is an X and a Y, end is an X and a Y. I should have one that's just room. But this is like the location of each room. Yeah, and C doesn't have objects. It doesn't have... So, I mean, when I make a structure like this, this is how I do things. So I will always make a function. When I have a structure that's going to be something big like that, I always have init and kill functions. I just write those myself. And so you have to give it the initializers, and I have to write the function. So, I don't know. It doesn't have that function in it, like an object would or a class would. But it is clearly init map space is the initializing function that I call to make one of these. I don't make one of these from scratch. I'll always send it to my custom function to make one. I'm actually going to change the way this works. I changed it from visibility to explored, because the thing is, once you've explored this, if you walk away, you can't see this room anymore. I'm up here. I should only be able to see this room. So I'm going to write a function to change the way that it renders it. So if you haven't seen it, it should if you have seen it, but you're not there, like down here, I should still be able to see it, but it should be in like dark gray. So this should be white up here. This should be dark gray. And I don't know about people who use different color terminals. Like if you use no, that's basic. I don't know what terminals do people use here. Something like this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Use this terminal. How little it is. This is not my default terminal. Like, how's this gonna look? Terrible. I'll have to figure out how to do the colors, because I don't really know. I don't know how to do colors yet, but I'm going to work on that today. So it'll be, God, that looks terrible. Green. But anyway, that's the way I want to do it. I want to write a function to say, is what spaces are visible right now based on where you are. And when you're in tunnels, so when you're in a room, you should see the whole room. And then when you go out to the tunnel, so here I should still see this whole room. But then when I go here, I should maybe still see that room, but when I go here, I should no longer see that room. I should just see around him. It should be visible. So it'll be dark gray instead. So I'm going to write that stuff now. And, you can't see through walls and stuff, so this is a pretty standard thing for roguelikes, that, you've explored it, but you can't see it anymore. Right? Do I have NetHack installed? Okay, so this is NetHack. And this room here, I'm in this room. This room I have been in, that's where I came from. But you notice the dots here. The dots in this room are white, meaning I could see. I don't remember how to do anything. And now I can see in here. Now his visibility is actually pretty good. You get line of sight into this room. So I can still see that over there. But now this room is white. Oops. What did I just try to do? You have no ammunition ready. Okay, wow. Oh my god, what? No. Never mind. But now I can see in this room, and this room is now dark to me. So I want to do something similar to that. I'm not going to do this line of sight thing. I actually don't like that. I don't like being able to see into that room if you're in this room. Because these are dark tunnels. How do you exit? How do you exit? This is how you exit. Because I don't remember how to exit. All right. So that's what I'm going to work on now. And that, I have the player. So the player is going to have something, current visibility. So the visibility is going to change every time that player moves. And that's going to be character. And it's just going to be called viz. And then when we initialize a player, just trying to think where I would do this, where I would initialize this, because this needs to be the same size as the current map almost. And it's essentially going to do a paint bucket fill. I guess for now, I'm good. This is not the best place to do this. Unless, you know, what I could just do is just do this. Struct map space map. So I just pass the player a map. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and then I can do player viz equals malloc size of player viz times map width times map height. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Okay, and then kill player space. I do need to free that. There's no memory leaking. And I also need to do one of these. Need to mem set it essentially. I don't know how to use mem set. I mean, it's easy. Fill a byte string with a byte value. Mem set, I guess that's the string you're putting, or the value, and then what character you're putting in, and then how long it is. But honestly, what I just did is quicker. Just doing this command, I don't have to include string over here. This is me doing mem set. So just filling that visibility structure with zeros. That should be a character, it is. Good. Okay, so then I need a function here, and it's going to be check viz. So this check visibility function, actually, I need to change this over here. This is only going to do it for the first map. So you can potentially, I'm just thinking in the future, I could potentially have floors that are smaller. If I have a floor that's 100 by 25 and then I have a floor that's 25 by 25, it's going to really mess up the visibility thing if the visibility is still too big or if it's still too small. So I want to think about how to change that. But player init, player space, I need to pass them the map. Okay, so that's good. So now check viz, which is a function over here for some reason. Check explored. What is that? Right. Ugh. No, that's check explored. So that's checking the explored. So every map, this is actually a map function. This is not a, shouldn't be in main. I'm not sure why it's here. Where does it get called? Check explored. Okay. So I should call here one called check viz. So this will update what the character can currently see. This will update what's been explored. And maybe and then we need the player also. Power to the player. So that's what that's going to be. Check viz. All right, we just need to do it. You know, just needs to be done. You don't even need to pass those, because they are already in the player. You don't have to pass the player and then a pointer to something in player and then another pointer into in player. So just that is good. All right. This is interesting problem solving when I think about the order stuff needs to be done. All right, so if we're in a room, no, if we're not in a room, fuck, it's not the way to do it. Oh man. Okay, yes. Are we in a room? If we are in a room or adjacent to a room, we should see inside the room. So I guess what I need to do is make an integer xy, and then I need something to report in room. So then we're going to check. So for x is equal to player x minus 1, x less than player x plus 1, x plus equals 1. And then for y equals player y, so we're checking around a circle in the player. Oh yeah, and we need a clear viz, so we need to clear the viz first. So clear viz should be a thing. So we'll just call map and player. This can be static. Pass these stupid structures around. I pass structure pointers around. It seems a bit excessive. But what we can do is well, let's just do xy. So when we check the visibility, we should clear out the previous visibility, because when you take a step forward, your visibility is going to change. And this should be this. There we go. And that should be equals 0. Clear it out. Boom. Clear it out. Now back up to here. This nightmare. Okay, so -1. X less than, no, Y less than player Y plus 1. Y plus equals 1. Is that right? So it goes -1 while it's, that should be less than or equal to, I guess. Is that how I did that over here? Less than or equal to, yeah. Oh, that's -2. But I'm changing the way I do it. So I am changing the way I do it. We're just taking this out. Fuck it. We're changing the way I do everything with that, so I might as well not try to cling on to these old bullshit functions that I wrote days ago. Horrible, ancient, old. We'll check the visibility and the explored. We'll do everything over here. It's okay. Okay, and then less than or greater. Okay, so first of all, in this little thing around the player, they should never be at the absolute edge. There should always be a wall at the edge. I don't have to do any math to make sure that they're not off the edge. But what I can do is first update the explored for this area. So if you're in a tunnel, what we can do is map explored plus xy2 flat x y one. All right. Then check, is it a room? If map, yeah, you were doing it right, man. I was doing it right. Map floor space plus xy2 flat xy map width is equal to floor open in room equals 1. Okay. Okay, and then at the very beginning, what I need to do is just set in room equal to 0. So if we're not in a room, just return, get out of there. We are in a room. We need to make the whole thing visible and explored also. So, this is going to be the paint fill thing. So I need to do that again. And I think I might just write it from scratch. I already have this code in here somewhere else, but I'll just write it from scratch. And so maybe I'll write a new function for it. Just to keep this function a little check viz, call it viz room. Oh yeah. Updated, explored and visible for this area. We need both of those. Player viz. Okay, so we need to make that visible as well. So when we get out of here, if we're not in a room, the little square around the character needs to be visible. So essentially, let's say the character is here. It needs to make these around it visible, centered on the character. So if he's in a tunnel, he can see around him like that, like Dragon Quest I cave with a torch. which is terrible. It's the worst visibility, but we'll be in tunnels, so it's not that big a deal. Okay, this is essentially what viz is. It's going to be like this kind of thing. Delete. We don't need that. Okay, so how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I need to prototype this. Okay. We're going to make a function to do it, or should I just do it here? I think I'll make a function. I know this is overkill. I like to keep my functions a little short, so that's why I'm doing it this way. This is like the helper function. So we are in a room and we need to paint bucket fill what that currently is, essentially. Okay, so I need an X and a Y. Just thinking how I'm going to do this. And we're going to start in the player location. No, we're going to start for X equals 0. Oh, we need a while loop. We need a while loop. And just loop forever. And we need changes. Changes. We need changes equal 0. Oh no, that should be at the beginning of the while loop. That's how we tell when to break the loop. Okay, then we're going to go through X equals 0, X is less than map width X plus equals 1. Same for Y, little nested thing here. Okay. Let's see if this compiles as is. This should compile and work, but I just want to make sure nothing's broken yet. Unused parameter. Okay, that's good. So let's just see. The visibility should now be much lower. Segmentation fault. Oh boy. All right, good. I'm glad I did this. Hello, game. Segmentation fault. All right. Let's see. LLDB NR. Whoops. NRL run. Right, hang on a second. Get these. This is one thing about curses. It messes with the window. Shit. Please ensure the terminal is at least 130 by 130 by 32. It is. So now LLDB is not working. Fantastic. Okay, fine. Fine. Let's do this again. Make sure it's big enough. Make debug. All right, we got problems. it's not liking LLDB is not liking the game now. It was, I guess it can't go into curses. Can you not debug curses with LLDB? That will be a problem. But I do get a segmentation fault, so, and then the cursor's all messed up. Yeah, great. Oh, you know what I should have done? Let's see if this actually works. See if my solution works. Whoops. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna do this. It's gonna crash. It's gonna crash. Yes, and then I should have the end win thing. What did I call it? Fake curses? Perfect, so that fixes it. It goes back to my original screen. So now that'll be my little correction thing. So I can move test over there and I can call it fix screen. And then I can add that to my get ignore. What do I call it? Fix screen all lowercase. Okay. Good. I don't know what's crashing, but I guess let me do this first and then I'll figure it out. It's possibly this. Oh yeah, okay, I see. So it is this, because it's starting with 0. Yeah, and I'm trying to write 0 minus 1, and it can't access before there. So this should actually be player X plus and player Y plus. All right, so that should actually fix that. No, it's still messing up. The screen is still messing up. And I'm still getting a sig fault. It's okay, but I did fix this. This is fixed. Fixed. Let's see if it's before this. I know this is the best way to debug, but if curses is not working for me. No, so it's not even getting here. So it's not even getting here. This function's not happening. Interesting. What else did I change? Let's see, map, player, Let's see if it goes, see if it gets, it's obviously initializing curses, so that is getting into curses. I mean, it's something here. And this is not the best way, but I have no choice if LLDB is not going to work for me. It's going to be one of these. Okay, let's just try it and see what happens. Didn't do any of them? Or am I just losing them? Are they just disappearing? Are they just going off into the void? We're gonna do segmentation fault. All right. Oops. Wow, a lot of escape codes. All right, it's not getting to any of these. I guess what I can do, you know, to test this, I know what I can do. I do this in ncurses. I check the window size. just gonna do a return there. And now LLDB should be able to help me out. Okay, so it's crashing here. It is crashing there. Oh. What line is that? It's line 120. So all this time, the function that I just wrote that I was like, oh, this is going to be absolutely fine. Should be no problem at all. Yeah, I fixed the wrong thing. All right, that's that. Okay, now it's in 120. It's not like in 120. XY2 flat, it should be initialized. So Y isn't it to 0 to width, Y to height, XY2 flat, X plus Y plus the map width. So interesting. This is in clear viz. The first thing it does here is it clears viz. And viz should be set up and fine, right? I mean, viz should not be a problem. Size of player viz times map width times map height. And then this is fine because I'm setting it all to 0. So what's the problem? Player viz. Okay, what calls this function? This is check viz. And that should happen here. Everything's fine at that point. The player's been initialized. The visibility should be okay, so this goes in here. Main to check viz to clear viz. Yeah, exactly what I thought. So why? Why is that not happy? Check viz gets the map and the player, and then it clears viz map player. Player viz. Okay, so oh. Is it null? Well, no, it wouldn't be null because I didn't set it to null. But it's like a 0. It's like not set. Why? How is it not getting called? Oh, you know what? I probably do up here. Let's move player. Return player. No, I do it before I return player. Viz equals malloc. Size of what it points to. Map times width times height. I mean, that is setting it all to 0. So that I'm player. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I got it. This is what my problem is. So right there, I was actually setting the pointer to 0. I should set what the pointer points to 0. So figured it out. Good. Good. Okay, clear viz should now work. And now check viz. I don't know if this will work, but we'll see. Let's see. I'm going to close this and make a new one, because I really don't like the little weird errors I'm getting. All right, good. So that's what I expected to happen here. Now my visibility is much shorter. This is like tunnel visibility. If you're in the tunnel, this is how much you should be seeing. Like, that's good. And then when you go into the room, however, now I need to write the rest of that function. Good. I mean, that was great. And it's funny, again, the debugger found the error happening here. And there was nothing wrong with this code. This code was beautiful. But what was the problem was my initialization function. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I fixed it. It's fixed. Okay, so now how am I going to do this? Viz room. Okay, we got, actually, I got it started. Okay, so this is where I need the logic. So if player viz plus xy2 flat xy map width is equal to floor open, then we're going to do something. And that'll be fill point. I have that somewhere else. That should be, I think, over here. I do need to change the way it works, though. So I'm going to have a second fill point. And this needs player, struct player space, player. Actually, wait. Viz. Okay, that should be fine. And then what we're gonna do is gonna do this. It's almost the exact same function as of right now. It might actually work. So what I'm gonna do, so fill point is the bucket fill. When I find a space that's already been bucket filled, it searches around itself and bucket fills. But I think I do need to change the way it works because walls need to change to 2. So they're gonna be 2. It'll make sense. So you need to see the walls of the room when you walk into the room also, not just the floor. I actually think as is it'll work if I just connect this function. So it'll be fill point changes plus equals fill point map player viz and then x and then y. That should actually work. Let's try it. Unidentified identifier, yes, connected. So this should be viz. All right, let's see what happens here. Okay, it's not really working. And I know why it's not working. I know why. So we need to update the explored as well. So that's one more thing that I want to do here. So this will be void, static void, update explored. Hey, Locke. How's it going? Guten Tag. And we want, what do I want? I want explored, which is a character. Yeah, so we'll just do struct map space map struct player space player, and that's it. And then what you do is we need an int xy, and then for x equals 0, x less than map width, x plus equals 1. For I've done so many of these. I just need to define, where I can define something and just be like, go through every tile, and every time I just do that, because I do these nested loops so often. What? There we go. If player space, no, we got to point to it. If player space, no, player viz plus xy to flat xy map width is not equal to 0, then map explored plus xy to flat. So if you can see it, it's explored. And that's it. And then I just need to call this function update explored at the end of visRoom. What calls visRoom? This does check viz, visRoom, clear viz, visRoom. Okay, it does all that, and then it gets back up to here, and then now update explored, so we can see it. Update explored, map player. All right, so now I should actually be able to see the changes that I just put in, and I need to prototype this. I always forget. I like prototypes, but I do always forget to put them in. Wow. Okay, so that's a problem. I shouldn't be seeing the whole map when I just go in. It shouldn't be just appearing like that. So, you know, what I need to do is I do need to change this fill point thing. And this says not equal to floor wall. So if it should say is equal to floor open. Damn. Okay. I do need to change the way this works. So I'm gonna just rewrite it. I didn't want to. So if you're on floor open, you know, actually before I just drastically jump to that, this is what I need to change. So this is just looping through the whole map. And what it should say is, if it's currently visible, so if this viz, oh, is equal to, yeah, 1. That's what it should be. Although floor open is probably 1. No, it was 0. Okay. Viz room. You're in a room, so go through the whole thing, and if it is equal to 1, then yes. So, okay, that maybe might work now. All right, so I can visualize this whole room that I'm in. He doesn't see the walls. All right, let's walk slowly. When he goes into a room, it just opens up immediately. You can see the whole thing. Except for the walls, which I need to put code in for that. So this is path. Let's find another room. And it just opened that whole room up. Wow. Okay. Staircases you need to add. Okay. Okay, so what I need is actually multiple conditions here. If it's that, or something else, or something else. So that should be floor, what are they? Begin or end. Now it will show the staircase if you walk into the room with the staircase. And I need to also illuminate. Wow, that was cool. That whole room just appeared, which is really awesome. Except for the walls, but I need to figure out the wall thing next. So let's just make sure that it fixed the staircase thing. That little dead end down there. Oh, another nice dead end. That makes me feel so good when I walk into a dead end. This is just a path. Okay, there's the room. The dark corner. I need a different symbol for path than floor. Paths are supposed to be dark. Okay, no staircase in there. Makes it a lot harder to explore when you have limited visibility. There we go, it illuminated it, good. So it will illuminate the floor. All right, at least the visibility thing, it's now changing the explored. It makes the whole room appear when you walk in, which is good. Okay. Okay, cool. So I also want the paths and the walls to appear. So if I want that to happen, what I do is I'm going to change this. And what I need is an int floor. We're going to say floor is equal to map floor space plus xy to flat x plus dx y plus dy map width. Boom. And what we can say is if f is equal to floor open or f is equal to floor begin or f is equal to floor end, or end. Yes. Then we do viz plus xy to flat x plus dx y plus dy. Thank you for already writing this code earlier. Equals 1. Else if f is equal to floor wall or f is equal to floor path, then what we can do is equal to 2. Okay, and then this can all go and changes. Here we go. Let's continue. What does that happen? If it's, well, if it's, oh yeah, if it's off the map. Okay, cool. Let's see now if that makes the walls appear. Okay, so this was the starting visibility of this character. I just came in and he could see these walls, and he could see these paths. These are probably paths over here. Open path, yeah. That's a path. So that worked. That worked how I wanted, but let's walk around and make sure. Yeah, when I walk into the room, the whole room appears. So that's beautiful. Cool. Okay, so now what I need to do is actually reflect this in explored versus visible. So just because it's been explored doesn't mean it's visible. And that's going to be over here. So print map space is going to actually need the struct player too. So we need display.h. And that is print map space. So it's saying if it's equal to 1, so it's explored. If player viz plus xy2 flat I j map w is equal to 1, or player viz plus xy2 flat. Hold on a second. I'm gonna just. Okay, I did it right here. I had a compound if where I had it on multiple lines and I had the indent wrong. Actually, you know what? So I don't have to do that. Let's just say not equal to 0. So if it is not equal to 0, then we're going to draw it. Else, just for now, we're going to just draw something else. We're going to draw like, I don't know, a star. So that's if it's visible, and then I can put in code to do everything else I need. So where's print map space called? Right there. Too few arguments called main on line 115. Oh yeah. Look mode. Okay, so now this room is currently visible because I am in it. Now I'm not, it's not visible, so it disappeared. Wow, and it really makes it hard to play the game when it's just drawing it as stars. I'm in a big fucking tunnel here too. Did I miss a room? Where are all the rooms, man? Alright, let's go this way. So proof of concept was making them turn into stars. There we go. And I think it works. Oh, that's so cool. I must like it. I must like the stars because it just completely covers up where you've been. I need to figure out how to render colors in curses. So that's going to be the next step to actually make this a little more feasible. But I mean, for now at least. So cool. Find another room. It feels really cool to walk into a room with this. Boom. It just all lights up. Oh, that's so awesome. In curses, you define colors in pairs, a foreground color on a background color. This allows curses to set both color attributes at once. Consoles support only 8 basic colors: black, red, green, yellow, blue, magenta, cyan, and white. Really? That doesn't seem right. Hmm. Okay, fair enough. So let's get in here and do this. I'm looking at it on my phone, so that's how I'm learning. In here, we need to do start color. So check window raw, no echo. And you need to do. Let's see. If. Well, actually, we can make this part of check window. We can say if has colors is equal to false. And when printf your terminal does not support colors. Sorry. Sorry, you colorless freak. And then we can start colors. I think it's start colors. Let's do a function here and just do color init colors. This can be static. I'll do it like that. And for kill curses. Kill curses. Oh. Well, it's way before. Oh, it's after check window, though. There we go. And in here, what we're going to do is we're going to initialize the color. So we're going to do start color. And then I'm going to initialize two different pairs. So I'm going to do color white, color black, and then init pair. So I don't know about this. Let's see. Init pair, short pair. So the pair, the color pair, is for that square, it's your foreground and your background. All right, it's fine. We'll just do it this way. I'll figure it out later. Two, color, and then we'll do color blue on top of color black. So I guess there's no gray. For some reason, there's no gray. Okay, so we have initialized players. Attribute on. Okay, so now we're going to do attribute on color pair. That's not right. How does this work? How does this work? Attribute on. Oh yeah, color pair. It is a thing. It's a defined. So color pair and then your number. Wow. Color pair. One. So that's if it's visible. And if it's not visible, we'll do 2. And then after it draws it, I'll turn it back to 1. So I don't know if this is going to work. Let's just see. It looks darker. Doesn't it look darker? It is darker. Hmm. All right, and then I forgot I need to do one other thing. And instead of drawing that, I can draw this. So this, what is symbol? What is that? Is that in here? It's a character. The symbol, we're gonna say symbol, pull the symbol. And then in here, we're gonna add C. And then C. Okay, good. So now let's try this again. Interesting how it is darker when I change it to white on black. It is actually gray. And so blue is implying you can't see it. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I don't like that, the color way of doing that, but... And then white implies this is what I'm seeing right now. And you can see apparently outside of that area there. Wow. Step out of the room, you can no longer see it. So I'm thinking I want to try something. Just want to try 0. And then we'll try that. I don't know if that'll do anything. No. I don't know about that. It's weird. The colors... Is there like a color for default, maybe? Because that's... Because it just gets so dark when you go into color mode. It might just be color mode is dark. And I wish there was a way to do dark gray. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This is effectively, it's working how I want it to work. So I can still see these areas. I can see this room. I can see this room. I mean, I could see what they were when I explored them, but they're just dark because I'm not in the room. When you step into the room, it lights up. So mechanistically, it's more or less working how I want it to work. A dead end. I wish I had more range over the colors, though. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Let's go into set pair. What was it? It was a knit pair. ncurses supports color attributes and terminals with that capability. To use these routines, a start color must be called, usually right after a knit screen. Colors are always used in pairs, referred to as color pairs. A color pair consists of a foreground color for characters and a background color for the blank field on which the characters are displayed. A programmer initializes a color pair with a routine init pair. This is like saying it's curses. This is saying it's not saying it's ncurses. So maybe ncurses has its own color system. So I'll look into that in a minute here. A programmer, yes, after it is initialized, color pair in is a macro. It's a macro defined in ncurses.h. Can be used as a new video attribute. Yeah, so I've thank you, whatever blog I was just reading on my phone. I just figured all that out. If a terminal is capable of redefining colors, the programmer can use the routine init color to change the definition of a color. The routines has colors and can change colors, return true or false. depending on whether the terminal has color capabilities, and whether the programmer can change the colors. If the routine color content, here we go, allows the programmer to extract the amounts of red, green, and blue components in an initialized color. The routine pair content allows the programmer to find out how a given color pair is currently defined. Extract. So if you do color content, can you change the content? If a terminal is capable of redefining colors. I mean, I know what I could do right now is I could just go in here into my settings, wherever the hell they are. And for this profile, these are the colors. I see, so they're bright and they're normal colors. And I could just change blue to like a gray color or whatever, and then it would work. It would work. But this is me. This isn't the game. I want the game to be able to do it by default. I guess the way that they are working, though, is they're assuming... Okay, so if I run this and I step out of the room, it turns blue. But if I'm in a different terminal... Okay, so it's like this one. How little this terminal is. Oh, yeah. Now, if I run it in here... Wow, it changed the background. Oh, because that's the color pair that I used. Yeah, I'm using that color, and they're the same over here as well. Yeah. See, they have a bright color. Exploring. This is one weird thing. I guess if I need to change one thing. So I don't like that I can see past the wall here, and I know how that happened. Let's close that. I know how that happened. So if I'm in here, I should not be able to see past the wall. So I want to fix that right now. So that's in here. Clear viz. We're in a room. Okay, so check if it is a room. What we need is... we need an F for what it is. F equals map floor space plus xy to flat xy map width. Boom. And then update, explored, and visibile for this area. If F is equal to floor wall, or F is equal to floor path, what we're gonna do is we do want it explored no matter what, so it's getting explored. But then the visibility is going to change. If it's a wall or a path, we're going to make that equal to 2. And then else, we're going to set it equal to 1. So I think that little change there should fix that behavior. So yeah, so now I'm at the edge of a room and I can't see outside of it. But I can see into the room. So right now, this is a path right here. So open path, you see it says open path, this little thing here. When I step onto the path, I can still see into this room because I'm standing right on the edge of it. But I can't see through. That's even better. I think that's so much better. Oh, dead end. Look at that, as a beautiful dead end. Truly the bridge to nowhere. I just took the bridge to nowhere. The Road to Nowhere by Talking Heads. That's a great song. If you've not heard it, go listen to it now. Oh, that is so cool. That was a path. This path was like from this room to this room, and then it just like failed at the last second in the map generator. became a dead end. That's so amazing. This is great. This is amazing. It's amazing it works so well. Oh wow, the up and down were in the same room? Interesting. Made me realize something about my map generation. I just want to go take a looky-loo. Should not have the up and down in the same room. It should be rare for it to happen. So place exits. Okay, no, it's working right, so I just couldn't put it anywhere else. While it's less than distance apart, yes. It's not a floor open, it's not a floor open, okay. Good, that's fine. I don't know, like I said, rarely, that should happen rarely. I feel so claustrophobic. I'm in the dark right now. Like, I'm in this dark tunnel and I can't see anything, and I can just run into a dead end. And there were 2 tunnels out of that room, and they both kind of led in a little circle there. There's some more stuff up in there in that corner. Okay, that's all right. Standing there, so I was just thinking, like, why can I see these 2? Well, it's because I'm adjacent to them, so yeah. And then as soon as you walk away, you can't see them anymore. And this is path. I'm on path right now, and I can see into the room. So, and now I can't see into the room. 1 step away, and you can't see in. So that's exactly how I wanted it to work. That's pretty awesome. And this is the visibility. So this is what I can see just coming up in here. I can see some paths out of the room. Well, what's going on down here? Like, why can't I see? This is all just path right here. Well, it's just okay. You get some weirdness with the paths sometimes. And the paths, you can just figure like little dark spaces. Which is why they should have a different symbol than the dot. Maybe the dot for open room, maybe the dot should be nothing. You don't see anything. Let's just see how that looks. It should be display. And let's do this. Yeah, so now you can actually tell where the paths are here because they're little dots. I kind of like that. Dead end. Nice little dead end. I love this. This game has made like leaps and bounds today from the small changes that I've done. New map generation algorithm, sight and vision, explored, visible. It's feeling like a real game. It's starting to feel like a real game. Another tunnel. And the 9 around the character that you see when you're out in the tunnels. Oh wow, there's like a path. That's so cool. There's like a path between these 2 rooms. So you can picture that as like vegetation or something. It's like a leaf curtain. You're stepping through, and then you're on the other side, or maybe like beaded curtains or something. Yeah, everything is blue. So right now, what's blue is stuff that I've explored previously, but is not visible. And what's in white is what's currently visible. So I can see inside this room. I can't see inside any of these rooms. But I have seen them previously, so I know what's there. Like, you don't forget what's there. Getting emojis. Heart's so good. I need some NPC things to say when people do emojis. Say that like emoji. Say it like Hank Hill or something. I don't know what a goddamn emoji is. Ah, that's so cool. It just works. It works, man. with only maybe 10 or 20 seg faults today, I got this working. Yeah, the colors suck. So how does NetHack do it with the black dots? Is it black on gray? Like, maybe there's an extended color set that I can get access to. Okay, before I get too involved in this, let's go ahead and add it. I'm not done. I'm just going to be streaming for a little while longer. I'm going to work on the next goal, but I do want to get this committed. Added. What did I add? New map algorithm, map gen algorithm, and visibility exploration. 191 insertions, 103 deletions. Everything is blue and there's nothing I can do. This should be up a little. There we go. And that's great. I don't know if having the room like a big empty without the dots is good. I could actually swap them. I think I kind of like it that way, but let me see what it's like when you swap them. So the path becomes this. Yeah. Whoa, not that. A tab character. Yeah, that would be great. Make it a tab character. So now, yes, that's awful. This is absolutely awful because you can't see anything. So yeah, I definitely want, I don't want those swapped. That was like immediately know why that's a bad idea. Everything's blue. I'm away for 3 seconds. Welcome back from your chores. Hope you got a lot done on your Saturday chore day. I have chores. I need to do laundry. So I'm also thinking, so it's very claustrophobic to just be able to see the 9 around you. And I know when I was playing Dragon Quest 1, I was like, oh, I hate torches, because that's all they show you. And you can barely see anything. But I'm thinking it's okay, because you can actually still see what you've explored around you, and it's alright. But I'm thinking there could be an item in the game, like a torch, that'll give twice as much visibility. And then there can also be, yeah, extra items like magic spells that can increase your visibility even more. I was thinking, how would I do that mechanically? How would I actually prevent you if you're like over here and you have visibility going up into the room? I wouldn't want to see the room from here. So anyway, there's cool stuff I can do later, like give a torch so there's more visibility. Have a light source. So maybe if there's like a torch, if there's a torch like here, let's say I'm here and there's a torch down here, maybe it's lit up and I can see everything around it. And I think largely I can use the functions I've already written for visibility. I would just use the torch instead of the player. The torch would be a player type object. Maybe I need to pass a void pointer to that function instead of the player every time. Anyway, that's very far off. That's not anything that's going to happen soon. Is there a room over here? I don't know if it's super intuitive. It's intuitive for me because I've built the engine from scratch here. I don't know if it's super intuitive, the difference between paths and rooms, because you might have a space like this, which is like eight things, and when I go over here, it doesn't like expand it. Or you might have a lot more like this. This almost looks like a room, but when you go over there, the whole thing doesn't light up. I think hopefully the dots communicate that to the player and it makes sense. Oh, found a room. I'm looking for the exit though. I've actually been, it takes longer to explore like this because with less visibility, there's less, I have to sort of stop and think where I'm going to go next. And with dead ends too. There are dead ends. There we go. Did I explore the whole map? No, I did not. There's still some map to explore up here. Now, of course, the visibility thing, it's not just the color. So it is cool to have colors. It's a colorful game. We have colors now. It's not the color. The point of visibility is if there are monsters in this room, I should not be seeing them right now. In this room over here. I should be seeing them over here. If there's monsters in these tunnels, I shouldn't be seeing them. Maybe I can hear them, but I can't see them. That's the whole point for visibility is as soon as you're away from that room, what's going on in that room, you have no idea. Now I've explored the whole map. And this, so another choice, here's another thing that made this better. Number one, new map algorithm. Obviously this map is super complex and there's a lot of paths and dead ends and stuff, and that's really cool. But another thing that happened is when I had the exploration before, it was seeing two outside. So if I was here, I would see this wall and then I would see the wall right here next outside of that. By changing the visibility the way that I did, I can't see outside the room. So I can't see two spaces outside. And so it adds all this blank space, essentially white space, that can never be explored. And I think that makes it better. It adds more. You're not seeing as much behind the scenes, because behind the scenes there's a wall on every square that you can't walk in. But you can't actually see it. So it's like it doesn't exist. It's like there's nothing here. There's white space here. There's white space here, even though that's just a bunch of walls. So I think that's a really cool change. That just makes this better. The map looks better. Because like if I go back to my R function, so this is my R function. I actually changed one of my numbers. I changed this to 55. Let's get a nice looking map in here. Here's a nice looking map. So this is a nice looking map, but it looks terrible because there's so much wall. If you don't draw that wall though, the effect is you get this, which is just so much nicer. So anyway, I don't know about the blue. Maybe blue is not the right color here, but pull that up and pull that up. Okay, have all these windows are semi-transparent, so you can see what's behind them a little. Oh, I'm enjoying this, so I'm gonna enjoy it for I'm gonna go up and explore the next floor real quick. The downside is that it takes 0.2 seconds to generate one map now, so if I do 100 maps, it's going to be 20 seconds. The map generation is a little slower. And it's just all at the beginning, so all the maps are already generated. A dead end. Still excited by the dead ends. I love this. And there were two paths going probably out of this room. That path was going somewhere, and then this path is going somewhere. And we weren't getting that before. It didn't feel like that before. You're just getting big double lines of paths that were big and gross. Fantastic. This is fantastic. It's like a game. Dead end. There are a lot of dead ends. I'm okay with that. There being a lot of dead ends. And this room has a path in the middle. Why? There's just so much path. Oh, look at this room. This is crazy. It's just riddled with paths. It's almost not even a room. It's lousy with paths. And there's a little square. We'll never be able to see what's there, ever. It's just impossible. Adds to the mystery of the universe. I don't even know what my next goal is. I've been thinking about this problem for the past week, thinking this would take me multiple sessions to do, and it all got done today. Pretty fast, too. Gotta say, I don't want to be full of hubris or anything. I don't want pride to cometh before the fall or anything. But I'm pretty proud of what I've done today. I think it's pretty impressive. It's almost like a... Oh, look at that one. There's only one way into that room, and it's through a little corner. So this map would have gotten rejected. No path was made to this room. But somehow, this path was going to a different room, clipped the corner of that room, and now we can go into it. So that's really cool. Little things like that are going to happen. That path, whatever this path was, it was from here to probably up here. So it was probably going that way. And it just clipped the corner of that room, and you know, now you can get in that room. And come on in. And that's the room with the staircase, too. Cool. All right, let's see what's next on the list. Stop enjoying ourselves. Map generation adjustment, done. Visibility and explored, done. Dunzo. Text, log, title screen, saving, loading, player stats, character screen. Monsters, character screen, and inventory. That could be two different things. Monsters, combat, pathfinding. Oh god, that's going to be terrible. I'm going to have to learn A star. I hope A star is fast. It's C, so it's going to be fast. But I'm just thinking every time you move, it's going to have to be done for several monsters, you know, if they can see you. Combat, pathfinding, character creation, loot, light sources. Okay. I like how I added light sources as like the last thing I want to do. I don't know. What do I want to do with this? Now, title screen saving and loading. That's kind of hard. It's kind of a big thing. I'm going to have to add a lot for that. And I haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about how I'm going to do it. And character creation is going to be part of that. I guess I'll add in character creation later. Like when you do new game, it'll go into the character creation subroutine. Create a new character. Title screen, saving, and loading. All right. Quit and save. Quit and save. Should it be quick saving? So that's how I did it in roguelike. I did. So I need to think about how I want this to be. In a roguelike, how should saving be? You shouldn't be able to... How should saving be? Okay, grammar. You shouldn't be able to just save scum. Like if you die or you're about to die, and then you know, Control Alt Delete. You shouldn't be able to load back in and undo those changes. You should not be allowed to do that. So I'm thinking saving should be like quick saving. So when you quit and save, it saves it to a file. And then when you load, it deletes that file. Like it loads it and then it deletes the file. Someone could copy that file. An enterprising young gamer could go through the files, and I could name it something like do not copy or virus.txt. Yeah, I guess saving, let's do saving and loading. So saving should be pretty simple. And I think it'll be pretty simple here. So let's make some files. So touch in library save.h, touch in source save.c, and then let's open library save. If not defined, save h, defined, save h, and if. Okay, and then let's open source save.c. Okay, save map. So I guess quit save should be a function. So we're just going to do a void, and it's going to get, you know what we need in here? We need map, and we need player. Anything else? No. So quit save. That should be, it should need a struct map space map struct player space player. Okay. Quit save, and then we'll need load save struct map space map. Okay. That's going to be a little harder because loading into the map structures is going to be a little different. And that's okay. That's all right. Absolutely fine. Okay, then for each of these, probably I want like a function that's going to be static. So like save map. It should probably just be the game state, honestly. It should just be the game state. So I don't want to save into two different files. And this file input output is on my mind right now because I had been working on a program for work where I've done a lot of file input output. So files should be pretty easy. I think it's standard IO. Quit save. All right. So we need a file pointer, and I think it's F open. Yeah, there we go. Standard IO. I was right. And how do you do that? It's you pass it the thingy, and then what is this? Path mode. Yeah, path and mode. That's right. Okay. On my mind, but that doesn't mean I know how to do it. So F equals F open, and we'll just call this game.dat. All right, so I need to get rid of game.dat, get ignore. We don't want to upload any game.dat files. And this will be right. Oh, I hate error checking, but you need to do error checking. So if F is equal to null, cannot open game.dat. And that is a bad place to be. We'll add more data. We'll add more, error checking later. That's enough for now. So first output the map data. So we want to do fprintf map number of maps first. Let me think. So you're going to have maps, and then you're going to have map data. You're going to have, all right, that's fine. So number of maps first. So this is just going to be a D. And then it's going to be map. I think it's n maps. No, that's not right. All right, so this needs an int n maps. That's going to be different depending on a lot of factors, so it's not going to be in the map itself. Okay, and then I also need, I forgot I need the pointer there, and then we need here an int I, and what we're going to do is for I equals 0, I less than n maps, I plus equals 1. So we're going to add each one. And then in here I need x and y. I wonder why they chose x and y. Whoever chose x and y for left and right and up and down? I know the Cartesian plane uses x and y, but they work a little differently. 0, 0 is top left in the in display, and in the Cartesian plane, that's like in the bottom left. So they work differently, don't they? Displays, they display from top down, whereas Cartesian plane is from bottom up. Anyway, we're going to go through each map here. Yeah, but it's not algebra. It's different than algebra. It's like reverso. It's like the mirror universe of the Cartesian plane from algebra. Or maybe from geometry. That's geometry. What's algebra? I guess algebra, no, that's the same thing in a Cartesian plane. You use to do linear models and stuff. You use the Cartesian plane. So yeah, it's all different. I blame computer scientists. It's computer scientists that did it wrong. And it'll forever mess with me because, you know, when I was doing it over in R uses the rules. This is 0, 0. Whereas in displaying, typically this is 0, 0, right? The top left. But in R, this is actually 0, 0. It does go 0 to 100, and then this goes 0 to 25. Absolutely confusing. Okay, so we're outputting map data for each one. What do we actually have to output? So we have all this crap. Let me go ahead and pull that so I can look at it. All right, so we don't need current floor because obviously the first thing is the floor. So we need fprintf, and we want to do width, height, and then number of rooms. We don't really need number of rooms, or room X, room Y. We don't need those, but they're going to get, I might as well output them because they're going to get torn down when you kill the structure. So you kind of have to do that. So we'll do in rooms. So width map. Oh shit. Just realized something. I'm just trying to output one map. We need a map wallet. Damn it. It's okay. It's all right. Struct map space map. All right. That's fine. We'll do it this way. Output map data. The number of maps first. Okay, so current map equals map wallet plus I. Okay, now we can go forward and output each map. So maybe I do need map number. Just for fun. I don't think I do, but it's okay. So map wallet, maps, map equals map wallet plus I. Yeah, that's good. So map cur floor, map width, map height, and then map in rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, good. you know, when you write the load function, it's basically you just mirror everything you output, so it's super easy. Super easy. You just have to do some malloc magic. And so for load save, I actually need a double pointer to the map wallet. Unfortunately, this is going to be a lot less visual than previous. Okay, so then I want to output, I guess the room location would be easy. So for, we need a J. For J equal to 0, J less than map in rooms, J plus equals 1. And this is going to be printf, fprintf, d, and then it's going to be map room x plus j. And then this, and maybe just do this, put a tab there. It doesn't matter, it's 1 byte. I'm not this is going to be text file. It's not going to be, you know, human readable though. it doesn't really matter. All right, so then we do that. And then we're going to do fprintf. Actually, begin and end can come before that. So d map begin 0, map end 0, map begin 1, map begin, no, end 1. Okay. Okay, and this is the most tedious thing. For x equals 0, x less than map width, x plus equals 1. For y equals 0. Y, remember I said earlier, like I do so many of these stupid nested loops that it is just absolutely ridiculous. Why is all this white space, all these tabs? How did that happen? It's because I hit enter too many times. And what we're going to do is fprintf f d tab. No, we'll do n. It doesn't matter. And then map floor space plus xy2 flat xy map width. You know, I could do the whole thing like this. I could do that. Okay, and then when it's done, that's when it's done y's. Okay. Logical sense to do it this way. Rows before columns, always. Then when it's done with a row, what you can do is is it fput c? What is it? Character file stream, yes. Fput c. Fput c character, and then file stream. Isn't that stupid? Fprintf, you give it the file pointer first. Fput c, you give it the character first, and then the file pointer second. Like, come on, have a little bit of consistency, please. It makes me feel like I'm doing it wrong, but I'm not. File stream first. Yeah, I'm doing it right. This is weird. Okay, and then at the very end, that's fine. We're going to repeat this loop, and then we're going to do it one more time, and it's going to be, instead of floor space, it's going to be explored, which is technically a character. What a card. He's such a card, such a character. But you can output it as an integer, it doesn't matter. It's outputting these integers. Everything is basically 1 byte anyway, because it's an integer of 0 to 9 is going to be 1 byte when it outputs in fprint here. All right, so that should be good. So now when I quit, what I can do is, we need to put this over here. I might as well prototype this. Yep, and maybe this should be an integer, actually. That'll return, so just for parallel sake, when I'm saving, I need to let the save function know how many maps there are. When I'm loading, I need to go let whatever called the load function know how many maps were loaded. So I think that's a great way of doing that. So now when I am over here in main, and I do need save. Now when I quit, it just breaks out of this loop and starts killing everything. I'm going to do quit save. Layer space. I didn't do that yet. And number of maps, which is right now num_maps. There we go. All right. Well, let's go ahead and see what happens. Got some errors. Exit 1. Call to undeclared function exit. Yeah, where is exit stored? In standard library. Which, come on, I would have needed standard library when I did the loading function anyway, because I need malloc. And expected expression. Oh, yeah. All right, what are these warnings? Unused parameter player, no new line at end of file. That's easy enough. Unused parameter wallet, map wallet. That's for load save. Unused parameter player, that's quit save, and then non-void function does not return a value. All right. There we go. All right, let's see. See what happens here. I'm just going to quit. And now I have something called game.dat, which is 51 kilobytes. And it wants to open in VLC. Let's open here and let's just see. So, wow. Can I, no, I want this to be on screen. So, let's see here. How do you make the... Okay, it's this. There we go. So it's saved. That's beautiful. So this is the first map. So it says there are 5 maps, and this, whatever these are, 0, 100. I don't know what 0 is. What is 0? Current floor. That's the floor number. The width, the height, and then the number of rooms. These are the room locations. 12, 12, 12. What is that? Yeah, the room, the stair locations, and then it's where each of the rooms are. Wow, there's 2 rooms at 12, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Crazy. That map generated a room at the same location. So I would actually need to make sure that doesn't happen, I think. So those are the room numbers, and then this is the map. So you can see the rooms are zeros. Walls are ones. Paths are twos. So it's probably very hard to see. If I zoom in a bit, you can see like here's a room. These twos are paths. Okay. And whatever 6 is probably, where's the other one? 5 and 6, that's probably like downstairs and upstairs. And then this is the what has been explored. So what is this character seeing? You see a bunch of ones here. That's where they are. That's where the character started in this room. So this is really cool. You can actually see the maps in the save file. That's the second one. Any doubles here? 78, 78, and 76, 76? That doesn't seem... Something's wrong. Something's happening here. 82, 82, 53. Okay, yeah, so I'm doing something wrong. I'm glad I opened this and look at it. X and X. Yes, this should be Y. All right, one more. This is the next, this is the one I just got out of. So this is the room that I started in. He was in the bottom left. And he's in here at the 5. That's the begin. So that's pretty cool. And these look better. So there, I have saving of the maps. That's pretty awesome. Let's just wait 25 seconds here. So I'm generating 100 maps now. And then immediately quitting. Which 100 is kind of what I'm looking at as the final, like on the maybe the hardest difficulty or the standard difficulty. But it took 18.5 seconds for that to run. So not updating. So now I have 100 maps. So if I go through here, I could be able to look at all 100 maps in the save file. But what I wanted to see was, how big is it? And it is 988 kilobytes. So that's not so bad. 1 megabyte. Perfect. Perfect. Gonna update in just a second, however long it takes. 18 seconds, 22 seconds. It's funny because this will take forever to run on my Raspberry Pi. Up to the top. Oh wow, it just immediately quit out and it didn't even get the visibility check. That's pretty funny. Here, let's try this again. Let's get the load up, let it load, and maybe walk around a bit and make sure the visibility is updating. I'm pretty sure it is. Not the visibility, the explored. Make sure the explored is working. 100 maps. They're all confined to the dustbin. I really do like the limited visibility makes it much harder to explore. Not harder, it makes it more deliberate. You have to like stop and think. You get dead ends too. I do like that. I think it improves the gameplay. That's a lovely room. That's 2 rooms. So what this generated was probably a room right here, and then a room right here, and they just happen to be that close to each other. And it turned into this little L-shaped room. L-shaped room. It's like a boot. Yeah, I was noticing last night, so I was trying to play, Switch Online has N64 games. And I was trying to install those and load them, but apparently you can't. You need to pay extra to get access to them. That was very upsetting to me. I thought just Switch Online would give me access, but no. You need like their Game Pass or whatever. It's called like extra content. You need the extra content Game Pass to play the N64 games. Also Game Boy Advance games, and they have Sega Genesis games on there. If you pay them, play. And that was... Oh, look at that. That is a great dead end right there. I can't go through. I'm trapped. I do like that when that happens. Like that, it seems to happen rarely, but it looks like that path was probably going... Where was it going to? It ended there. There must be a room down here. There must be a room here. Yeah, and I kept trying to launch the program, and I was like, it was telling me I needed to log in and that I needed to purchase Nintendo Switch Online. And it was saying online plus extended content or something. And I was like, I have that. Don't I have that? But I don't have that. You have to pay a little extra for that. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay extra for something I can just emulate. And I can emulate more. I'm not advocating emulation, anyone. But I'm advocating emulation. There is absolutely no reason in a million years to pay $36 more, or whatever it is. I don't even know how much it is. I didn't even look at the price. I was like, it's the principle of the thing. I'm not paying more. I already pay enough for that stupid crap. For that stupid crap I barely use. I'm already paying a yearly fee for it. Alright, I just wanted to, there we go. I just want to do that. Okay, now I'm going to quit. Now I'm going to update the save file. So, wow, that's so cool. So I fully explored the first floor, and now you can see the map up here. The map versus the explored. So what's been seen by the player. Oh, that's just so cool. I mean, this is not something a player should be looking at. They shouldn't be digging into the files. But obviously, if they want to, they can go all the way to floor 100 and say, like, oh, this is where the final room is. But for now, it's cool to see it. There's probably some kind of a way I can do encoding. I could do bitwise encoding of all this data just to make a binary file. And instead of, no, bitwise, what would I want? 4 bits per character instead of 8 bits. So it would cut it down to half a megabyte instead of a full megabyte. Oh man, Sax is streaming. But I don't know, and it would stop the player from looking in the file. It's not about the space savings, but it's about the player going into the save file. You don't want them to be able to manipulate any of this data. You can also zip it, so you know. So if I do gzip, then it's 2 kilobytes. Really? 36 kilobytes. So gzipping that took it from 1 megabyte to 36 kilobytes, and it's, I don't know how easy it is to put gzip into a C file. I think Z standard I could do, that's the Facebook compression algorithm, and I could do ZPack. ZPack is open source, free software I could put in. But just as gzip, and then if you try to open gzip in a text file, it's just not going to work. So you see this instead, and you're unable to mess around with the file. So I might do something like that, compression. That's probably the best way to do it. It's like a minimal amount of protection. It's like a minimal amount of work to stop the player from going in and messing around with the files. If players want to mess around with the files, they can do that. But I like the way this looks. That's pretty cool. And then I explored up here. So I was in this room and I walked up to this room and you can see it. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So I guess before I quit streaming, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of the player data. So let's do player data. I think instead of the way that I have this actually is I can split this up into two functions because I like short functions. So save map, do it like that. And this should actually come with struct map space map int in maps, and then it should come with file pointer f. So then what I'm going to do is save map n maps, and then f. That's it. And this needs to be prototyped, and this should be static. Okay. And then I don't need, that's obviously map data. And then what I can do is save player. That'll be player and f. And then f close f. I forgot to f close. You gotta close your file pointers. You gotta close your file pointers or you die. And that'll be void, it'll be static void save player, and this will be struct player space player and then file pointer f. Yeah, and that's gonna be like that. And did I put those? You know what I forgot to do? It's actually it didn't ding me on this, but I forgot to do this. Player.h and map.h I need to include here. So I'm surprised it didn't ding me on not having those. Like I have warnings turned all the way up, so usually you're gonna get a warning. And what's in a player? This is in a player. So this is the player. Oops, I'm over here. All right. So player as xy. So then you're gonna print f print f x y current floor current time name, and you don't need to do visibility. Player x, player y, player cur floor, player cur time, player name, and you don't need to do visibility. Because visibility it updates it every time you move. I guess I could do it. I could do visibility. I don't need to. But you know, actually the current frame you're in is going to have visibility. No, you do check visibility every time. You do it before you draw the map, right? So drawing the map, check visibility. You erase the screen, you check the visibility, then you print out the map. So, I mean, that's 100%. So, yes, back to this. That's fine. So that's perfect. It'll update the visibility as needed. The explored will be 100% the same. Okay. Print all that crap out. And then close the file. And then there we go. So let's go ahead and try that. What did I forget? I forgot something. Let me delete this first of all. And wow, I got a lot of weird errors here. So X and Y, yeah, so all of these things need down here. That should be it. Nope. Save player, save map, save player. I forgot to prototype it, my goodness. Now the good part about this is if I change the, I start adding stuff, I give player stats and HP and all that stuff, I can always just go in and change the save player function. So that's why I'm keeping them separate, so I don't have to mess about like on a huge 100 line function. I can go straight to the save player function and fix it. All right. Use of undeclared identifier map wallet. Okay, so that's actually what we need to pay. We need to send to their map wallet. Okay, and that should fix that. Oh no. Okay. That's fine. It's a lot of errors. Let's try it again. Go to the top. All right. Incompatible pointer types passing map. Struct map space. Okay, well that's obvious. Save map needs a double pointer. Needs a map wallet, not a map space. That might be enough to fix it. No, there's still a lot. Oh yeah, and then it needs a map space in here. So let's just do this. And there we go, it works. So let's go ahead and wait 20 seconds for 100 maps to generate. This is time to drink, hydrate. Don't forget to hydrate. Okay, and I just want to get a little bit of, look at that, why does that happen? I wonder. They're right next to each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. So that's a 2 by 6 triangle, which is the square root of 40. That's the distance there. What's the square root of 40? 6 point something. So that should never happen. It always seems to happen on the first floor though. I don't know exactly why. I'm doing something wrong. All right. Let's look at our save file now. Go all the way to the bottom. And then here's the character data. So 10, 10, that's X, Y, 0, that's what floor they're on. 390, that is, what is that? Their time, so it's 390 minutes. And then Flenblohay, their name. Yeah, I would like to figure this out. This is a weird thing. On the very first one, it's always in room 1. Place exits, that's where we're going to go. So what do? You generate if 2 while dist p is less than dist apart. So I have in here if you run 10 times, so the distance apart should be 50. So that was 6 point something was the distance apart there. If you run 10 times and you can't fit exits that far apart, then you subtract 5 from your distance apart and you keep going. I guess I need to make sure they're not on top of each other. No, you're never gonna get them on the exact same place. It just isn't gonna happen. It's gonna happen like 1 in a billion chance that the map screws up. Okay, so let me just go through this. So counter 0, dist apart 50. Counter plus equals 1, we've tried once. If r at 1x is equal to -1, generate an x and y. So we're not doing that because we're passing actual values in. Then generate random values for y2 and x2. And if counter is counter modulus 10, no, I can't. Yes, I'm going to do this. All right, I just want to do this. Okay. So it really removes. Why is it doing it so much? Because it's making so many maps. It really doesn't like. Oh, I think I understand it. So it's trying to. This is what's happening. Okay, I think I understand why this is happening. It's trying to place an exit and an entrance, and every time it just generates a random number for where it's putting the exit and the entrance. The entrance, when you're on the first floor, it's always in the same place. But so it's trying to place the exit. Half the time, it's trying to place it in a wall. I don't know why this is crashing now. It's trying to place it in a wall, so that because that's happening so frequently, yes, because that's happening so frequently, this is what's happening. Like, it's just really going through it. Okay, and then it's generate map after map after map. So that's what's happening. I figured it out. It's my text editor's crashing and I don't know why. Where are you, text editor? I guess I can just close it and open it. It should be okay. There we go. All right, let's go back to this. So the way to fix that then, so you should be very rare to have the entrance and exit in the same room, essentially. So instead of every 10 tries, so it was getting down to 20, which means it was subtracting 36 six times. It was, so 6 times 10 is 60. So it was, yeah, 60 in general. So maybe what we do is 100. Change that to 100. Okay, so now it's just going to be always further away because I gave it 10 times more chances to place a far away exit before shrinking the radius. Or shrinking the old radius. And one thing I should do in here, go ahead and update. One other thing I should do so that they're never on top of each other is say if dist apart is less than 5, set it equal to 5. So just one other little thing. So if it tries to shrink them so much that it's like going negative distance, it'll never set them on top of each other. They'll have to be at least 5 distance apart. So I think I fixed that. There's no way of knowing other than just playing the game and testing and looking for it happening. It feels great though, walking around in this dungeon with limited visibility. It definitely feels. It has good game feel, in my reckoning. It feels like a game. Feels like a game. Looks like it is one. Look at that, 2 little dead ends there. That's great. With a little wall by itself in the middle of the path. That's great too. Little features like that you don't expect. Yeah, even the blue, I was not expecting blue. I was trying to make it dark gray, but I don't know how to do that without redefining colors. The way NetHack does it, it does black. There we go. It took me that long to find the staircase. It took me two days and 14 hours of game time. I'm going to definitely change the way that clock runs. Because it's, I think, a little too fast. Here we go, almost fully explored. Oh yeah, that's a room. So I didn't explore down here. But let's just see. Can I go? I should not be able to go upstairs because I only have one map. Yeah, I can't. But let's quit. And then let's go here, update, and then I can look again at my save file. And can't remember where I didn't explore. I think it was down here. I didn't explore here. It's just a dead end path. Or maybe I did. Let's see, that's 2 from the bottom. 1, 2, yeah, I guess I did explore that. Graybu Rhyme. So I have saving, I need loading, and I need title screen kind of stuff, so. And I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. That's gonna be lengthy. But I'm off and running, so at least I have a starting point for next time. I guess I can go ahead and add this. One other thing. It's not the quit game. It's the save and quit game. The save and quit. I'm wondering if I should even have a starting point in the first floor. Like, you know, even have a downstairs, like you don't need it on floor 0. It would be to exit the tower, though. Is the point going to be go up the tower and then come back down? Like, go up, you're climbing the tower to kill God. So get to the top of the tower, kill God, and then do you have to escape, or do you ascend, become God from the top of the tower? Or is it going to be like Metroid, and the tower's falling, we got to get out? That would be even better. Get back out of the tower before the tower collapses. So each floor will take like one day. The top floor is going to collapse. You have to get out. That would just be tedious, though. That's a lot of walking. 100 floors. Kind of like the idea of that, though. All this stuff is going to have to evolve. All right, I want to just look before I quit. I want to look in NetHack one more time. Yeah, it's like black dots on gray. I don't get it. Can I make hang on. I just want to make this opaque. Okay, so now I can see it. So it looks like grayish. So let me take a little screenshot of that. All right, so I have that color screenshotted. And now, how do you quit NetHack? Is it X? No. Control X? No. Shift Control X, Shift X. What is the button combination? How do you quit NetHack? I used to know. Press Q to quit NetHack. I don't think that works. Because that's quaff. What do you want to ready? Quit. There we go. Farewell. Okay, so now let me run my thing. Yeah, it's way darker, so it's actually black. So I think it's in bright mode. I think I have to figure that out because the terminal has these like color settings that are like normal and bright. That's what I'm gonna have to figure out. How do I use both normal and bright colors? So I'll look into that in the meantime, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. So let me commit this to the hub. Commit it to the hub, and then I'll call it a day. Oops. 81 insertions on that, on quitting. Like, quitting and saving added half as much as the visibility stuff. So, yeah, anyway, thanks for hanging out, everybody. It's been fun. This has been great. Today was a really good progress day, so I'm pleased with the progress. So, I'll see you later. Bye.